Do you know what the most sexy version of yourself is? It's the version of you where you love every aspect of yourself. You know, when people come and say, be more of who you are, be more of yourself. And, you know, this can help you in business, client attraction, it can help you in love relationships, it can help you in all sorts of situations. Be more of who you are. If you don't love who you are, how is your subconscious mind going to allow you to be more of that? The most sexy version of you is the one that you are tapped into your authenticity, you're tapped into your feelings, you understand what you love, what you don't love, your values, your overall value and essence that you present. That is you. This is your energy. This is, you know, everything about you. It's your humanness, your emotions, it's all of it. Like, if you don't know who that is, or if you don't love who that is, you can't be more and more of that. But what I do know is being you, right down to the core, knowing who you are, presenting that to the world unapologetically. This is the most sexy version of yourself. If you want to attract in a man or a woman who resonates with you, who you can be in this beautiful, deep, connected, emotional, intimate relationship, then you need to get tapped into the essence, the core of who you are, know who that is, love who that is, and then be that. So there are quite a few different ways to get connected with who you are, but there's one very, very potent way of how to love who you are. So starting off with getting connected to who you are, I highly recommend to dive into all things that excite, ignite your passion. And sometimes we need to look back into childhood to really connect to what that is. Sometimes in our adult experience, we start to lose connection to our passion and to what really excites us. If you do know what excites you, that's amazing. If you don't know what excites you, there's a few ways that you can get there, and one of them is that I love to close down my eyes, hand on heart, and just travel backwards, you know, into your childhood experiences, and remember when you were the most joyous. Remember when you felt like just so loved and so excited about life and so passionate about something, like laughter and freedom and skipping and being pushed on a swing, like all of those feelings. Like, remember who you were in those moments. What were you doing? How were you connecting? Who were you being? What were you like? And then bring that back into your adult experience and start to reconnect with those childhood passions of yours. This really ignites the flame inside, ignites the juiciness of the uniqueness of who you are and what you love. You know, maybe mathematics really excited you. Maybe, you know, riding horses really excited you. There's just so much that we kind of lose connection with in adult, you know, in all our responsibilities, all the hats we need to wear. So I invite you to travel back. Look at who you were at your most happy moments, and look at what the values are behind that. You know, is it freedom? Is it connection with other people? Is it, you know, deep emotional, you know, connection with friends and family, and what really excited you? And then also consider the things that you don't like, because one way of knowing who you really are is understanding all of you, the things that you really hate, the things that you really love. And get clear, because if you're sitting on a date with somebody, could be a date with your husband, or it could be a date with a brand new person. If you're sitting there and, you know, they're talking about things and you're like, oh yeah, and you're not really connected to what it is you love, what it is that you'll take a stand for, then it's kind of like a bland experience. But if you know what you love, what you'll take a stand for, what you really don't like and why, then those conversations that you have with your existing partner or new potential partners, those conversations are going to be so much more enticing and juicy and exciting and triggering potentially, you know, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, yeah, I know who I am, I know what I stand for. And getting to the part about loving yourself, this can be difficult when we don't even know what it is that we don't like about ourselves. I mean, yeah, you can say like, oh, I don't like my varicose vein, or oh, I don't like the way I look in that dress or something. But that's different. It's, I mean, that comes into self-love, and there's a lot of work we can do around that to get you really loving who you are on a physical level. But deep down, like where all your emotions reside, in those places in your body that get knotted up when somebody says something and then you don't say anything back because you're holding your voice back, or, you know, there's all these situations in life that we're not really our full authentic self, and that's because there's something in the background saying you're not enough, or you're too much, or you need to be different. We're not connected with like just feel it and be it. We're more connected to like what's going on in the head, and we filter ourselves. So to get into that realm of the things that you don't love about yourself, that's another heart work opportunity. You know, place your hand on your heart and just go for a travel through your timeline. Look at the things, look at what you did that you're ashamed of, look at things that you feel guilty about, and start to see why you may have done that thing that you're guilty or ashamed or whatever about. Look at the mechanisms behind it, because more often than not, the reasons why we did things that we're ashamed about, it was something around keeping you safe. There was some kind of fear involved. There was some kind of, you know, I need to be this way or do this thing because, you know, I'm not going to be loved, or, you know, I think I'm going to get what I want if I do it this way. There's manipulation. There's, you know, there's just a whole world of things behind why we do the things that we do that we look back on and we're ashamed of. And I would invite you to look at the mechanisms behind it, like safety mechanisms, you know, not trusting. There was a good reason why you didn't trust. There was a good reason why you didn't feel safe to be yourself, your authentic self. You know, there could be jealousy, there could be anger, resentment, like whatever those things are inside of you that you're not particularly comfortable with. Start to see what they were designed for, and start to acknowledge they're just as important a piece of you as the bits that you love. And once you can start to get your head around like, okay, I can see why I did that and I forgive myself for that, then you can start to go, okay, I can love those aspects of myself because I see why they were doing what they were doing. And then moving on into, you know, being that really beautiful, juicy, sexy version of you. It's taking the things that you do love, things you don't love, knowing yourself, being all of who you are, wrapped up into this beautiful, energetic entity that we are, and being unapologetic. You know, the whole thing about like, it doesn't matter what other people think about you. It only matters what you think about you. It really does, because in times of where external love is being withdrawn from us, this is when you love yourself, you know you've got your own back, you can be there. You can be there for yourself and love yourself through the difficult times, through the darkness, into, you know, this new evolved experience of who you are. And the more that we get to do that, the more that we get to travel through the hard parts, loving who we are, understanding ourselves, standing up for what we believe in. That's what's sexy. Being your authentic self, knowing who you are, loving all parts of you. That's what's really sexy. So I hope you liked this love file today. If you found it useful, if you want to follow me, please give me a thumbs up of support and share this YouTube channel with anyone that you think could benefit from this type of information. Feel free to comment below and let me know if there's any topic that you'd like for me to talk about. And yeah, I really invite you to get comfortable with all parts of you and fall in love with all parts of you, because that's the piece that's really going to allow you to expand into the love relationship that you desire.